Hi, how are you? Have you ever wondered how to handle conflicts or issues that arise within an occupational health and safety committee? Now, maybe you're an employer member or an employee member, maybe even a manager representing the employer. Either way, you're someone who's passionate about workplace safety. That's why you're on the committee, right?
You betcha.
I mean, you have to be, otherwise you might not have even clicked on this video. Either way, welcome. Glad you're here. But you've likely clicked on this video because you've seen problems crop up that threaten the effectiveness of your committee. So let's dive in right now and have a look at the typical problems that plague joint health and safety committees. Most of your coworkers would likely be under the impression a safety committee, it's just a bed of roses. In fact, many would likely ask what kinds of problems could possibly occur within a safety committee. So let me start with a common question. How should a safety committee deal with issues that come up during meetings? Especially if those issues involve sensitive information or disagreements between members. To answer this, I want to share some real-world scenarios that actually might sound familiar. So as an example, let's start with the first one. Imagine this. Your committee is meeting, and during the discussion, some concerns are raised about how certain workplace practices might be creating safety risks. Not unusual, is it? Everyone in the meeting is contributing honestly because the committee is supposed to be a safe place for open dialogue. But then you find out that there's a manager who wants to use the details from these committee meetings to discipline employees. Now, maybe they want to single out individuals who've brought up concerns during the meeting, or even use attendance records to take punitive action. Or worse, they seek out to punish workers that were involved in a workplace incident, and instead of considering remedial training or some other proactive corrective measure, they look at punishment. This is a huge problem. Why? Well, because the integrity of the committee relies on open, non-punitive discussion. If members are afraid that what they say will be used against them or their colleagues, they're going to stop speaking up. And that means vital hazards are going to go unreported, and everyone's safety is at risk. So let's look at another common problem. An issue. Committee member participation is a big one. Suppose you have members on your committee who never attend the required training, or they consistently fail to follow up on assigned action items. You know the ones. You know who I'm talking about. Over time, the committee's effectiveness erodes. It's going to break down. Tasks aren't being completed, recommendations go unimplemented, and ultimately, the workplace becomes less safe. Certainly not more. So, you might be asking, what's the solution to these problems? Well, the solution is actually a strong, clear, and comprehensive terms of reference. In fact, I should really call this video Why Every Occupational Health and Safety Committee Needs a Strong Terms of Reference. Subtitle it Protecting the Integrity and Effectiveness of Your Health and Safety Committee. I know, quite a mouthful, but really and truthfully, a terms of reference is absolutely essential for your occupational health and safety committee. And a terms of reference can prevent and resolve issues before they spiral out of control. The terms of reference is a foundational document for your health and safety committee. It spells out your committee's purpose, its scope, and, crucially, how it will operate. But more than that, it establishes the rights and responsibilities of both the committee and management. In other words, it spells out the responsibilities that the committee has, but also that the employer has to the committee. A terms of reference of safety committees is nothing new. They are often required by legislation in most jurisdictions, and that same legislation often prescribes the minimum components or points of a terms of reference. However, sadly, many companies only do the bare minimum. I know you're likely not surprised, are you? Let's see how a robust terms of reference tackles our two problems. First problem, the manager who wants to use the meeting information for disciplinary purposes. A good terms of reference should explicitly state that the committee is not a forum for management discipline. It should clarify that information shared in the meetings is for the purpose of improving worksite and workplace safety, not assigning blame. If someone tries to use it otherwise, the terms of reference should give you a clear policy to point to and a process for addressing that type of breach. Next, what about those committee members who don't participate or follow through? Like I said, you all have one, I imagine. Hopefully not, but maybe. A strong terms of reference will outline attendance expectations, required training, and the responsibilities of each member regarding action items. It will also provide mechanisms to address non-compliance, such as reminders, retraining, or, if necessary, removing and replacing inactive members. This ensures the committee work is shared fairly and completed effectively.
Is there more?
Okay, a bonus question, I guess. But what if, despite your terms of reference, problems still arise?
Okay, I'll bite.
That's where having comprehensive procedures in your terms of reference really pays off. There should be a clear process for raising concerns about committee functioning, resolving disputes, and escalating issues if necessary, whether it's mediation or formal review or inviting an external advisor, like, an OHS officer. Your terms of reference should cover all of this. Okay, now a big and. A terms of reference is not a one and done. It has to be reviewed often. Annually is best. It needs to be revised as necessary as internal and external issues arise and demand. It also needs to be signed off by the co-chairs of the committee. And if you're going to go for the ultimate best practice slam dunk, a signature by the executive responsible for health and safety for the organization would be a slam dunk. So to sum all of this up, if you want your Occupational Health and Safety Committee to be effective, open, and focused on what matters, and that means protecting everyone's well-being, you need more than just good intentions. You need a clear, comprehensive terms of reference. Not only will it prevent common issues like managers misusing information or members dropping the ball, but it also will empower you to resolve challenges fairly and transparently if they do occur. If your committee doesn't have a terms of reference or it hasn't been reviewed in a while, well, now's the time to act. Gather your team, review what you have, make sure it protects everyone's interests, especially the safety of your workplace. That in itself is true leadership. Now, credit where credit is due. This video was spurred on by a question asked by a viewer. David Greenough asked about one of the hypotheticals I mentioned. I talked about it and discussed it with him, but funny enough, I experienced a similar question a few days later. So, thanks, David. And if any of you have a question, fire it my way. But beware, there might be a video come out of it. Oh, and for those of you that are interested, David's LinkedIn profile is linked in the description. And if you're an employer in Ontario, you might want to hit him up. My experience is this. When people are asking the right questions, more often than not, they'll also have some of the right answers. Just saying. Now, if you want to learn more about safety committees, start with this playlist up here. So thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. So stay safe, and remember, safety leaders don't just lead by example. They keep running the good race in an effort to build a better, healthier, and safer workplace. Okay? Bye for now.